I'm here with George Pitagorsky, Director of Program Development at Mindful Life, Mindful Work. Welcome, George.
Hi, thanks for having me here.
We're here today to talk about George's work with leaders, teams, and organizations. But first, let's hear a bit about his career trajectory and how it informs his work at Mindful Life, Mindful Work.
Well, my career trajectory is a long one. I began as a computer programmer back in 1964, and from there moved into project management, managing software development projects, and around them, ultimately the projects that changed the way that people operated in organizations, process change, and that aspect was taking place in the framework of a big insurance company, then a defense contractor, working on the Polaris project, and then moving into a moving into a startup, a software design, software development startup, and then from there, where I was applying my project management skills and my software development skills and various people skills were being learned, and how to be a leader in an organization started to become necessary in what I was doing. After about 7, 8 years in that role, I had become interested in and a practitioner of something called Kundalini Yoga. So that led me to a search in a whole different ballpark than software development in the world of commerce and government. So I dropped out for 2 years and took courses in Buddhist studies, meditation courses, and so forth, and did retreats as well with some wonderful teachers. Uh, After about a couple of years, I realized that the life of an itinerant yogi was not for me, and I turned my attention back into the organizational world, but with the intention of applying all of the things that I'd learned in the world of yoga and meditation and related teachings into integrating that into the way that I worked in the world. And from that point on through the 1980s into the early 2000s, I played the role of a project management and process management consultant and became a fairly globally recognized thought leader in that realm, doing one-on-one coaching, team coaching, teaching, developing courses, some of which exist, to this day in the form of self-paced video, and so that took me into the early 2000s and into about 2008, actually, when the bottom fell out of the consulting market. There was a financial crisis, and I was lucky enough to take on a position as a chief information officer for a large portion of the New York City Department of Education. And that was a wonderful experience. It was, service, and at the same time being able to apply a lot of my knowledge, both on the interpersonal and the technology side, to making things hum in that environment. So that I worked at that until 2019, just before the COVID pandemic hit, and and now I'm here and doing coaching and trying to make it possible for me to share what it is that I've learned with others, so that they might gain from it.
What positive outcomes do you think a company or a team or individuals can expect from shifting to a mindful approach?
Yeah. Well, on an individual level, there's the benefit of being more at ease, relatively accepting of what it is that's happening around us, rather than being reactive. One becomes responsive, and that responsiveness increases one's confidence in oneself. increases one's capacity to be happy and under just about any circumstance. Not in a ha-ha, laughy way, but in a way that's satisfying.
Mm.
So on an individual level, that's a significant benefit. On a team level, when the team coalesces around the idea that mindful awareness in this way that we're talking about it is a benefit, then you get a kind of an uplifting to another level of performance. Conflict becomes easier to manage because people understand that when their emotions come to the surface and get in the way of collaborating, they can see it more quickly and manage their relationships more effectively. So that becomes a significant benefit in teamwork. Uh, to say nothing of the ability to, again, step back and apply that process view to mundane things like planning projects and seeing how the environment can be improved in terms of its quality, which then enhances the effectiveness of the team. And then on an organizational level, the sum of the teams and that benefit comes into fruition, and the organization becomes more of a positive presence as opposed to some kind of a thing that gets in the way of individual and team performance.
It's been really nice talking to you, George. Thank you for sharing a bit about your work.
My pleasure. Thanks for inviting me and having this discussion.
If you're interested in learning more about George's work at Mindful Life, Mindful Work, you can do so by visiting www.mindfullifemindfulwork.com.